In a world where brute force fails, one trickster rises. Master the art of deception. Confuse, confound, and conquer. The battlefield is his playground. Chaos is his weapon. Become the ultimate illusionist, the unstoppable mischief maker. Watch, learn, transform. This is the way of Danzaburou.
Okay, Tanukis, this is the ultimate combat guide. Train with me and you'll improve. This guide contains timeless information that shouldn't be affected by minor future changes. So let's start and see how that holds up in 5 years' time. Moneybags is a very simple ability. Hit a money bag on an enemy, spawn a coin, then you or an ally can pick up these tips just like this tutorial. Moneybags and other abilities benefit from both strength and intelligence, so there are many ways to build Danza. No matter how you build him though, Moneybags is probably going to hurt, so it's important to get the most out of this ability in your fights. You can shotgun the Moneybags for a little extra damage. This is perfect for ganks as you typically want to focus a single target before moving on to the next. If you are able to bottle taunt an enemy, then you might be able to get all 3 Moneybags to hit with the secondary explosion on top. You might want to try and get a good spread of damage across multiple enemies, like here for example. Damage on both targets sets up a kill on both of them. If you can manage to aim at 2 targets, I'd go for it. You've got 3 shots to make. Since these Moneybags is a huge chunk of damage, whether you build strength or intelligence, you shouldn't use your ultimate unless your Moneybags ability is up or about to come up. The follow-up damage is too important to exclude from your combo. When it comes to camp clearing, you don't need to be perfect with your bouncers. You're not some tricksy trigonometry Tanuki, just keep things simple. Fire from a distance so that the Moneybags don't land far back away, and just pull the monsters into the secondary explosion. The most basic thing that you can do with the bottle is throw it slightly behind your enemy, as they are most likely going to try and run it away when seeing or hearing this ability. Don't think that missing your bottle makes it useless. It is an excellent zoning tool. By knowing that your enemy can't go a certain area without being taunted, you can better predict where they will go. So sometimes throw this bottle to cut the enemy off, making them more predictable. You can use Alluring Spirits as a defensive zoning tool. Throw the bottle down on yourself so that melee enemies cannot basic attack you. Also throw this down on allies that are being attacked, giving them some kind of protection. A reminder that even if the bottle doesn't taunt an enemy, it can still block basic attacks. In this clip, Anha jumps in and I've got Nagas, a bottle, and even a clone to block basic attacks. Anha didn't have their ultimate or impale, so there was no way to fire through to get to me. To increase your chances of the enemy being taunted, you may want to shake your Tanuki body to do the blocky. Get in their way so that they'll stay for the party. The bottle of Alluring Spirits is an excellent follow-up crowd control tool, so consider timing this in conjunction with nearby allies. They'll probably hit some crowd control, so you can guarantee hit yours. You can do a blink bottle trick. Throw the bottle and then blink. There's not much to it. Honestly, it doesn't have much use, but it is a time saver. Small time saver. Might catch an opponent off guard, but I suppose it depends on the current status of blink. You can throw a bottle on choke points to create, I don't know, some kind of bottleneck? There are many reasons to zone like this. Here, I use a bottle on the choke to disengage from a fight, stopping enemies from following. And here, I choke the bottle to buy more time to attack the Phoenix. And in this example, it's just some good old Tanuki tight space tough love. If there is less room for enemies to move, there's more chance they'll get taunted or get zoned, allowing me to do more damage. Tanuki Trickery creates a zone of bamboo. Whilst inside, you can freely move around whilst shooting, and it doubles your chance at spawning clones. In many cases, you want to be in this zone for as long as possible to take advantage of its benefits. Or play a game with your enemy to see if they can correctly guess which one is the real you. You may lose. Try to exit the bamboo field before it expires, because it grants you one enhanced basic attack. Depending on your build, you could be doubling your damage or more. Hell, with certain builds, you could even pack out almost 1.5k damage in a single auto attack, if you consider a lucky crit. Do bear in mind, if you are doing any kind of calculations against target dummies, that they aren't the best calculation for your damage. It's useful for comparing relative damage, like this build versus another build, but the damage isn't accurate when fighting actual other gods. One of your greatest powers as Danza is your ability to help push objectives with or without the team. The technique to do this is to spawn the field so half of the bamboo is inside the tower range and half is outside. This way you can dip in, get a friend to spawn, and dip out. So long as you always have a friend in tower range, the tower won't swap aggro over to you. This same trick applies to doing the Gold Fury. Spawn the field halfway in, halfway out, get a friend to tank the Gold Fury, and just do the best you can to waste the Gold Fury's time. You can solo the Gold Fury late game so long as you are a Tanuki baby boomer and keep pumping those Tanukis out. If you can live more often, then you'll perform better. So master the art of Tanuki Trickery. Enemies will assume you are running in the direction you left the bamboo field, so to fully trick them, do a sharp turn when exiting to completely fool your opponents as to which direction you are going in. You should use your items whilst benefiting from your bamboo field. Like here for example, I use Death Metal to give me a boost of stats, which enhance my next auto attack when I leave the field, giving me a kill secure. If you can increase your attack speed, crit chance, strength or intelligence, then try to use it in your bamboo field to squeeze the most out of it. Towers will not target you whilst you're disguised, which means you get a free ticket pass into enemy towers if you want to go pop them. You can also drop aggro on towers if you time the transition as the tower is reloading. When building Danza, here are some things to keep in mind. This number here indicates the percentage chance to spawn a clone. This number is doubled when you use your bamboo ability and stay inside the area. You could say that the most optimal builds will have around 50% chance to spawn, which means when doubled, every attack will spawn a clone, but to be honest, I don't need to tell you what is optimal here. The mere fact that you will now be thinking about this number whilst you build will improve your gameplay and building. Reminder, these guides aren't to make you play perfectly, they are just to improve you and get you to the next level that you are capable of. Intelligence increases your chance to spawn clones. There is another important factor to spawning more clones though, and that is attack speed. Even if you only have 25% chance to spawn a clone, if you attack more frequently, then you have more opportunities to spawn more clones. Clones deal 10% of your basic attack damage, but that's sort of a lie. Here's some things you need to know. Clones can crit. Nothing more needs to be said here. Items like Avatar's Parachute or Death Metal, which increase your strength and intelligence, which contribute to your basic attack damage, that will increase the damage your clones do. Items like Braces of the Abyss grant you up to 60 increased damage on basic attacks. Sorry, but clones won't get an extra 60 basic attack damage. Bragg's Harp is another similar item. The same goes for Kins or Soul Reaver, which do percentage health damage. These do not apply to clones. I don't make the rules. If you have Lifesteal, The damage the clones do does not apply lifesteal to you. The clones do heal from their own damage, which isn't worth considering. Clones' attack speed are fixed. They don't match your own attack speed in items. With all this in mind, hybrid builds for Danza are probably best. Clones are better for Operation Tanuki Shield, whether it's blocking enemy attacks, confusing them, or taking strategic objectives. You are the damage. So items like Braces of the Abyss or Bragg's Harp are still great because they all fuel into making you strong in multiple different ways, whether it's upping your damage or spawning more clones. First, let's understand the basic rocket controls. Press the ability once and you will send a missile at the targeted enemy. The rocket will always point at the target.
Even if impossible goat, sacrifice is possible, it still wouldn't be Bill Gates approved.
Press the ability twice and you can jump into the rocket, allowing you to manually guide the rocket and exit when it explodes. Whilst riding the rocket, you can jump off of the rocket with the right mouse button or some other button on the controller, and the rocket will continue to fly in the direction your camera is pointed. More on this later. Whilst riding your rocket, you might find yourself endlessly looping around an enemy. You can jump off the rocket and fire it in the direction your camera is facing, stopping your frustration and stunning the enemy. The biggest skill up you can do is mastering the rocket ride combo. All there is to the trick is jumping off of the rocket before it hits its target. This buys you time to throw your bottle, preventing your enemy any time to escape unless they have cleanse. Then you can follow up with a triple money shot or make a bamboo graveyard for them if you feel the need for reeds. If you know the enemy has a dash, beads, Aegis, or something similar, make use of the fuse time of your rocket. If you have the spare time, aim at the player to see if you can force out an active or an ability, turn away from the player, and then smash into them once they've done whatever they've done. Danza is pretty good at split pushing, though if you have the jungle item, it currently reduces damage against lane minions. Regardless, you don't need minions to tank towers, if you have reliable Tanuki sacrificial pawns at hand. The point is, always plan to escape. You may need to bamboo away from the enemies to get some distance, or just straight up rocket ride out of there. Split pushing is all about trying to take some towers or Phoenix, or alleviate pressure elsewhere, and getting out alive in most cases. Many people try to pull tricks on Danza, so you need to know about these tricks. Players will run behind a wall and try to hug the inside, so be ready for that on your rocket adventures. Don't bring dishonor to Tanuki Trickery by being tricked! Your ultimate can be used to push through crowd control, especially against abilities with large cast times. Baron Samde, Milan, Susanoo, and way more all have abilities with very long cast times. You should have plenty of time to hop on and rocket off. With any ranged character, being near walls can be your friend. It's about line of sight. If enemies don't have line of sight of you, then there's more of a chance to prevent incoming damage. There are a lot of abilities that still pass through walls, but by minimizing as much as you can, you increase your chances of success. In this example, I stopped Poseidon from basic attacking me by putting a wall between us, allowing me to focus on Achilles with the rest of the team. You'd think Poseidon would be the priority target. This is typical thinking, focus the DPS or focus the healer. But the priority target is just the person who is most out of position, and sometimes that can be the tank. Poseidon can't hit me here, but all three of us can hit Achilles, so we win. I suppose we should talk about the aspect. It's not so good. Crowd control is far too valuable to give up. This aspect can give you great sieging capability. Siege, by the way, refers to trying to take an enemy's objective with or without an enemy present to defend it. But you can get amazing siege with an intelligence-based build without the aspect, so why lose the taunt from the bottle? Being able to spawn decoys from the aspect has its niche though. Let's say you are against Anher. Anher is largely basic attack based, doesn't have many ways of dealing damage outside of those basics. Being able to spawn decoys instantly and hide behind them is useful, but that's so hyper specific. The bottle's crowd control is just globally useful all of the time and has many applications and uses. So just use the aspect if you girl just want to have fun moment. That's everything for now. I'm no longer working with Hi-Rez, so I'm reliant on your support. Everything helps. A like, a follow, an inspirational comment, a Twitch subscription, a Patreon pledge, a thought, and a prayer. Special thanks to EP, Nicole, Danny, Eternal Dracana, Morrigains, Brax, Lanta, Snacky, Sinti, Care4, Mad Demon Max, Zero, Barari, Halakor, Quigsy, Jacob Killpack, Atenrip, and Diane. You've all been specially selected for a Tanuki mission of great importance. See you at 1600 on the Twitch stream.